Poems of Love and Loss. Forward. A life together and apart. Christy Graham met, courted and married Margaret Brearley during the course of World War II. Like many couples during that time, they were together on few occasions, but the love that was born in that period of international conflict endured, lasting till Margaret died in 2001 after a long illness. They came from very different backgrounds. Christy Alether was educated at the academy and on the streets of the busy port. Margaret was orphaned in early childhood and survived the hardships of the extreme poverty prevalent in the mining communities of the Depression in the Midlands of England. Together they raised a family of 5 in a happy and loving home. Their beautiful garden at Clermiston, which Christy developed from a clay-sodden builder's site, became a haven for the numerous grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Christy had always written and performed poetry, but as Margie, grew more infirm, the tone of his poems changed. This selection of his poetry takes us through that time, sharing with him his feelings of love, loss and loneliness. Birthdays and Christmas feature many of the verses, along with the memories conjured up on a Hogmanay night. 12 of the works are in English, with 8 written in Christy's Leith dialect. Christy and Margaret were both SNP activists, and every year would attend the Bannockburn rally. This is commemorated in Sassenach's Revenge, when, due to increasing age, they had decided not to take part in the march from Stirling to the field at Bannockburn. On arriving at Stirling, Margaret, always bravely determined, changed her mind, leaving Christy behind to look after the shopping. The final piece, The Souvenir Day, is a song originally taken from a much longer poem and set to music by one of Christy's granddaughters. Christy reflects, through the beauty of his garden, the love he once shared with Margaret, and which continues for him beyond her death. Christy always carried with him several sheets of poems, and never failed, if called upon, to perform his poetry to an audience. In this book, he can again share with you his love for his Margie. For Mum and Dad, a promise kept. Love. Love does not die when one grows old and passion urges wane. A word, a smile, a feathered touch brings fast to light again. Responses that are hidden by the fears that years attain, that words and smiles and touches lie as ghosts of what remain. For love is not a casual thing to fade and die with age, but binds and welds for evermore when those in love engage. Engagement is but meeting point, a meeting point apart. The difference from all others is, it takes place in the heart. At Christmas and those other times. My dearest Marge, the whole world knows how much I love my English rose, and how the tides of wartime's flow brought us together long ago. But not how much as each year passed, how more and more the bonds were cast that bound us then with love begun, to bind us now as if we're one. Dearest Marge, there no longer is new words of love expressing this, for as the years I've written rhymes at Christmas and at other times, I've used all those that now exist, comprising love's romantic list. So simply, Marge, I've written here those words of love that now appear. For single second of the day I've pondered on what I could say that could convey and would imbue the wonder of my love for you. For in my love, before, behind, there never is from out my mind. You are my own, my lovely wife, the inspiration of my life. Birds. There's birds that's big and birds that's small and birds that's in atween. There's birds that cheep and birds that craw and birds that only preen. There's birds you hate and birds you love and birds that are your bane. But Margie is my turtle dove and coos for me alane. A Sassenach's Revenge. I stood alone at Bannockburn, deserted by my wife, although she'd taken marriage vows to be with me for life. Look here, I said, you can't do that. You're married for my wealth, and promised you would stay with me in sickness and in health. She laughed at me and mocked at me and bade me silent wheesh, as if as dog I'd misbehaved and should be on a leash. I'm going on the march, she said, and off she bloody went, while I was left like Boy Scout camp with everything but tent. She'd left me with the shopping bags, packed full with picnic fare, the umbrellas and bulging packs all scattered round me there, abandoned at the Heritage and loaded like a horse. I'd been in some predicaments, but never one that's worse. I prayed to God that rain would fall from out the heavens above and drop in buckets on the head and shoulders of my love. So if ye be like Christy Graham, both married and a slave, you'd better have your will made out. You'll soon be in your grave. I've got mine. I canna dance like Fred Astaire or shoot like Randolph Scott. I canna wave my curly hair, 'cause I've no got a lot. I canna paint as good as Gough or write like Brothers Grimm. I canna dive in Loch, because I canna swim. I canna rin like Steve Ovett or drive like Stirling Moss. I'm no the macho man you'd get who's like to be the boss. But I'm content wi' married life, and what's still left to be, I couldna hae a better wife than Margie's been to me. So, bugger stars and motor cars and athletes we can run, or aeronauts we bypass Mars and Randolph wi' his gun. To hell wi' Rembrandt and Monet, the Windsor's Royal Line. To hell wi' tenants every day. For Margie, I've got mine. I think o' you a' through the day and dream o' you at nicht. Oh, Margie, I can truthful say, you've been my guiding licht. I need more time. My dearest Marge, how can I write what you have read before? How can I keep protesting love when no one loves you more? And yet I knew I must keep on, as from the very start, without relief in writing so, my love would burst my heart. As all times are Christmas times from 1942, and all the years from old to new, from when I first met you, I wish and wish as each year passed that we could start anew. For Marge, my dear, I need more time to write how I love you. Words are nae enough. When frae your pen the juices flow, and on the paper letters show, I trust the words the letters spell will bring you love and serve you well. Each year I sit upon my erse and ponder on poetic verse that would express to ye, my dear, the sentiments you want to hear. Though skilful with poetic pen and loving ye enough for 10, I ken my love expresses best when holding ye close to my chest. For pen and paper are but tools, unruly in the hands of fools, as only me can love ye hen, nae letters, words, or fountain pen. Jettisoned. The beauties of the garden bright may fill mine eyes with sheer delight, while fragrance from their blooms distilled awaken thoughts now quietly stilled, to stir old dreams at angry fire, the rage their memories inspire. But dreams with rich erotic thought cannot repair what rage has wrought, and under gloomy darkened sky the beauties of the garden die, to leave me here alone and sad, bereft of even dreams I'd had. Shadows of the night. Day after day, so breaks the dawn, as dark gives way to light, to chase the fears that linger on as shadows of the night. I have no fear if waking morn is dull and overcast, with sunshine rays cut off and shorn by winter's stormy blast. For I shall see with morning eyes that wakened opened wide upon my life, my love that lies, yet sleeping by my side. Declaration o' intent. I've loved you in the bedroom, right there upon the bed. I've loved you in the garden, inside the garden shed. I've loved you in the attic, near choking in the dust. I've loved you in the basement, baith coloured brown wi' rust. I've loved you in the morning, as signs it's turning licht, and loved you in the evening, and richt on through the nicht. I've loved you on a Monday, when washing's getting done. I've loved you on a Sunday, for loving you is fun. I've loved you, my wee darling, syne ever we were wed, and I'll aye keep on loving till yin o' us is dead. But sure as God's my maker, that day we meet above, we'll hae nae time for harping, for we'll be making love. Lost. I see you now, not as you lay upon that final bed, but as on that November day, the day on which we wed. I saw you in civilian clothes, of costume prim and neat. I saw you as an English rose, new opened blossom sweet. I'd met again that loving glance, that from the very start could wound me as an arrowed lance can pierce the lonely heart. To their deposit message true, as token heaven sent, that all of me belonged to you, for that was what it meant. For 5 long days with longer night, I journeyed from afar, to own the undisputed right to be your Lochinvar. How I admire your courage then, for I was the unknown, a raggle-taggle Scotsman when you took me as your own. And now, a sad self-pitied soul, who knows not what's beyond, a life as part of living whole without that living bond. For memories said to take its place can never play that part, yet still through them my soul does face the hole within my heart. Hogmanay. On Hogmanay I'll be alone, surrounded by my kin, who from their places on the walls will bring the new year in. Up there with many other friends who made my happy life, there is the loveliest of all, my Marge, my darling wife. These walls, which once each hogmanay absorbed both tears and love, are steeped in memories and joy from floor to roof above. But now, alone, from where I sit, I see revived again life from those faces in the frames, as I had done so then. Pity me not on Hogmanay, as old and by myself. There's treasures in and on the walls more valuable than wealth. And in those faces smiling now, my vision bringing close, there is the one I love the most, my darling English rose. And as I sit, as I do now, awaiting Hogmanay, I see the pictures on the walls as I do every day. So hear me now, I'm not alone. There in my treasure chest, a treasure trove of friends and kin, with Margie now at rest. Then after Hogmanay is past, the future year unknown, there ever in my treasure chest are memories all my own, whereunto which my mind shall dip, as love within my breast seeks those of Marge, my Margie dear, my Marge, the loveliest. Sae dear to me, there couldna be another man would loo ye mair than me, for shares my God nae other can, as sick ye couldna be. And I'll screeve doon, my dearest wife, for every yin to see, for ye, dear wife, are a' my life, and oh so dear to me. For be sure I'm fairly certain that our meeting had been meant, and yon drill hall there in Burton was a venue heaven sent, where St Andrew sent a lassie to fulfil what love demands, with a lovely wiggling chassis like wee apples in my hands. Loneliness. With days so long they never pass, until with night time blending, they yield to what now is, alas, more dark hours never ending. The dragging hours again restart, with next day's weary yawning, as heavy eyelids draw apart on morning's dreary dawning. It matters not if sun does shine on rainbow archly curled, or thunders crash as hailstones whine upon a darkened world. For neither nature's warmth or strife affects abandoned senses that waken to a lonely life, bereft of all pretences. Like landscapes of a rough terrain in vistas stretching endless, or arid desert stony plain of parched and sandy dryness, there's nothing there as counterpart to a life with bleakness fraught, nothing to uplift a lonely heart, now forever grief distraught. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. The flower that bloomed within my heart came from no maverick seedling upstart, but from a cutting sharp as a dart, targeted to pierce and love impart. Straight as the arrow the cutting flew, quick as the lightning rooted it grew, blossomed and seeded, welding we two in union so binding, privileged to few. For 59 years welding had grown, strong as the seedlings loving resown. Now with the parting, left on my own, today one day we're meeting, somewhere unknown. Sweet memories. As shades of winter sullen fly, from springtime's forward march, and April showers frame the sky with rainbow coloured arch, soon shall your bluebells silent ring, to once again renew carillons that will loving bring sweet memories of you. sae souvenir day, a song. And doon alang the hedge's foot, sae fetching to the ee, wild hyacinths are bloomin' Marge, a bonny sicht to see. For ye say loud they Scots bluebells, I'll surely let them be, for I'll be kennin', Marge, my love, you're watchin' here wi' me. And though me's folk would no believe and think it canna be, I ken you're at my shoulder, Marge, to watch alang wi' me. And Marge, wee flowers torn by the wind, fae off the cherry tree, he fawn like snowflakes to the grund, or danced away in glee. But rose-tip buds are peeping out fae round the apple tree, to open up as signs they hear the nectar-singing bee. And though me's folk would no believe, and think it canna be, I ken you're at my shoulder, Marge, to watch along wi' me. There's plenty flowers that's never been, that's still to come to be, and many yet to reach their prime and shake their blossoms free. And though I dinna ken fae sure what happens when we dee, I ken the way I'm feelin' noo, ye micht be here wi' me. And though me's folk would no believe and think it canna be, I ken you're at my shoulder, Marge, to watch along wi' me. For doon alang the hedge's foot, and fetching to the ee, the Scots bluebells are bloomin', Marge, a bonny sicht to see. And though me's folk would no believe, and think it canna be, I ken you're at my shoulder, Marge, to watch alang wi' me.